What's going on, guys? Tyler here, T-Rod Outdoors, and today, like I said, we're putting together the ultimate pond hopping tackle box. This will be one tackle box that I'll need to go pond hopping wherever I want. All that I'll need to take is this and a couple bags of trusty plastics with me and go pond hopping. Other than the plastics, this has everything else that I would need to go pond hopping and have a good day out fishing. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so right here what I have in the all-purpose tackle box for pond hopping is I got an assortment of baits from lipless crankbaits, spinner baits, poppers, walking baits, got buzz bait, chatter baits, jigs, square bill, swim jigs, everything that I use on a weekly basis when I go out there fishing. Every time I go out, I throw pretty much everything in this box to figure out what the fish is going to be like. So let's get started. Up here in the top left, we have lipless crankbaits. So first bait is a little bluegill imitation. This is the Biospawn Rattlebot right here. And then the other lipless crankbait that I chose to put in here was the Googan Squad Mini Clutch. This is a gold with a black back on it for those sunnier days. Moving down, you come down to here. This is the swim jigs that I chose. Both of them Googan Squad Grass Hero swim jigs. This white one is a 3/16 ounce. And then I also put a bluegill imitation swim jig as well. Alright, moving down to the next one. This is a Bitsy Bug jig, 1/4 ounce Bitsy Bug. This is Okeechobee Crawl, so it's got green pumpkin, got some blue on the back. So then I put a Riot Baits Tantrum as the trailer, which is what I like to use for my Bitsy Bugs, is the Riot Baits Tantrums. So this is a great pond jig because it's not overly aggressively big, and you can get a lot of finicky fish with this small jig right here. Going down to the next one, we still got some jigs in here. Right here we have a football headed jig, and it's got some green pumpkin and orange, so I put a green pumpkin orange crawl on the back there. Football head finesse jig. And then we also have a Googan Squad jig, which is like in a peanut butter and jelly. And then for the trailer I put a Kraken Crawl, the new purple Kraken Crawl on it. Looks really good. It's a little big for most of the ponds that I fish, but sometimes big fish want big baits, so I thought I'd throw it in here in case I want to throw it around at the pond one day. Alright, let's see. Going up top here next to the lipless crankbaits, we have an underspin, which has really been killing it for me lately. And on the back I have a 3.8 inch, this is a Saucy Swimmer. Nice little underspin. And then also with the underspin I keep a spinnerbait. This is a Strike King spinnerbait, bluegill imitation. Put those back in there. Alright, down below the spinner baits and inline spinners, we have this. This is a Lunker Hunt popper. It's probably my go-to popper. The color, they call it bluegill. I just really like that color, and I love the hard rattles that you get with the Lunker Hunt poppers. It's got a nice cupped lip. Definitely my go-to popper, which is why it made the pond box for me. Below that, I don't throw a whole lot of crankbaits at ponds that I fish, but I wanted to have the option to throw a square bill if I wanted it. So this is the Googan Squad. This is the Mini Banger in Sriracha Crawl. It says right here, 1 to 4 foot. So even if I were to throw it in the ponds, it's not going to go so deep where you're just going to get vegetation every throw. Nice color pattern. So that one definitely made my pond box. Going down here, we have 2 chatterbaits. Chatterbait's definitely my favorite bait to throw at the ponds. So I wanted to have my bases covered, so I did a bluegill color. This is a Z-Man Elite chatterbait because it has the Gamakatsu hook, and I put a Gary Yamamoto Seiko on the back. I really like that as a chatterbait trailer. So I got the bluegill imitation, and if the pond is dirty for whatever reason, I have a Googan Squad clickbait in here, 3/8 ounce in black and blue. Okay, moving up from that, we have a Strike King buzzbait here, bluegill color again. When I'm at the ponds, there's no shad in my ponds, so I don't try to imitate shad. I just stick to bluegill. So that's why a lot of the baits that you see in this pond hopping box are more geared towards imitating a bluegill. I only put 1 topwater walking bait in because I don't use it a whole lot, but I do want to have the option to throw it. So I believe this is a Strike King Sexy Dog Jr. in bone. It's got some BBs on the inside, makes it rattle around. And then up here in this top right, I didn't want to have to bring any terminal tackle with me, so I put some in here. So I have some 3/16 weights, some quarter weights, and some 1/8 ounce weights up here. And then over in this last compartment, I have an assortment of hooks to suit any need that I would want to throw that day. So I have the small octopus hooks that I use for wacky rigging. I have a straight shank worm hook. I believe that's a 2/0. I have an extra wide gap worm hook. I think that's 2/0 as well. And then I put 1 shaky head, and this is a stand-up shaky head, so it's on the bottom. It stands up like that. That's what these little prongs are for, to help it stand up. I actually got this in a mystery tackle box, and then the worm or craw or whatever soft plastic you choose will float up like up here. But I like using these, so I put 1 of those in just to have the option to throw at the ponds for if I wanted it. But that is going to be everything on the Ultimate Pond Hoppers little tackle box right here, or my ultimate, I would say. Yeah, I left a few things out, like I don't have any jerk baits in here, or crankbaits, deep diving crankbaits, or any like swim baits, like hard swim baits or anything like that. But this is what I throw at the ponds that I go to, so that's why it was all geared towards me. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. Hopefully I can get a fishing video out for you guys in this upcoming week. Thanks for watching.